Slope is a ratio that we use to determine how steep a line is. It's the ratio of the line's rise, how far vertically the line goes, compared to its run, how far horizontally it goes in that same amount of space, or same distance, I suppose. So first up, let's find the slope of the skateboard ramp. Well, knowing it's the ramp's rise over its run, I can see from the diagram it rises 15 inches for every 54 inches that it runs. Slope, just like any old fraction, is always going to be simplified. So we'll go ahead and simplify this fraction and come up with a simplified answer of 5 over 18, or 5 to 18. Now, since it's a ratio, we always want to leave it as two numbers, so we're not going to have a mixed number. We're always going to have an improper fraction. If that's the case, no decimals. We always want our slope to be a ratio, so two numbers. The more typical problem you're going to see is when we have to find the slope between 2 points. So they give you two coordinates. Now, we're still using rise over run, but more to the point, I suppose, we're going to want to use this formula: y1 minus y2, the change in y, over x1 minus x2, the change in x. Now, some people see it switched where they have y2 minus y1 instead. That's fine as long as you're consistent with the order you subtract it, and you've got to make sure that your y's go on top. So if you're new to these problems, one piece of advice I give is label your point. If we've got x1 and y1, it means the first x and the first y, and then x2 and y2. And I'm going to do y1 minus y2. If you want to flip the order, that's fine. Just make sure you do x2 minus x1 on the bottom if you've done that in the top. So 3 minus -1 in the numerator. Be careful that you are subtracting a negative. A lot of people forget that. Denominator is going to be -1 minus 2. Now notice again I've done y1 minus y2, so I've sort of subtracted front to back. And then the bottom of my fraction is -1 minus 2. Make sure that that order is consistent. So along the top, 3 minus -1 is just a positive 4. Be careful with those subtracting negatives. -1 minus 2 isn't the same as -1 plus -2. So a -3 on the bottom. Can't simplify that fraction, so I would say that's my slope, 4 over -3. That negative sign could be in the top, so if you want to write -4/3, that's fine. Sometimes I just put the negative sign right in the middle, as long as we indicate somewhere that that fraction is negative. Now, there was one more part to this question. They asked us to find out if that line was rising or falling, basically increasing or decreasing, or whether it was horizontal or vertical. A negative slope is going to be a line that is decreasing left to right, so I'll say this line is falling or decreasing left to right.